My name is Alex Mino. I'm 28 years old, and we are in San Clemente, California. I grew up going to Parker, Arizona, in the river, so we were kind of on dirt bikes and quads and stuff like that. And I saved up and I got myself an old two-stroke, and it was kind of just like, oh, get a dirt bike from what I knew as a kid. And it completely changed everything because I grew up all that 6 years riding BMX, riding with people like Dylan Stark and Larry Edgar, and just being in that element. I got back on the dirt bike and I wanted to jump and I wanted to try tricks and do all this stuff now, so it was so much different. Ended up riding like Beaumont and Ritchie Canyon and with Vinny Carbone and people like that, good mentors that are just solid dudes. Started progressing really fast with that stuff, and then after wanting a hog for 9 years, this year I finally got myself a Harley. This is a 21 FX BBS. You know, I bought it because I only had like $4,000 or $5,000 to spend. I sold my nice luxury truck. I was commuting an hour and a half to work and back. I knew I wanted to wheelie it. The first Harley wheelie I saw, I was down in Oceanside at a bar, 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, and I heard skid marks and the V-twin, and I saw him scrape the fender in front of the bar, and then he slides in and parks, and it just blew my mind. I knew that. I was like, that's gonna be me one day. I wanna do that. That's the coolest thing I've ever seen. I got shown by someone really good how to wheelie a Harley, and then from there he kind of introduced me to people that were really good, and then now they're some of my best buddies, and we ride together almost every day. Just kind of motivates you, and it just kind of makes you want to be better and do better. And I try to, whether it's work or anything I do or touch or ride, I try to get better every time I do it. I'm kind of hard on myself that way. I was going out to get a new job and move out to Arizona. I had a bunch of my buddies that moved out there, and they were going to MMI, and they're absolutely killing it out in the Harley scene out there, and they're just progressing so fast, and they're riding with good people. So I was like, you know, I want to be out there and ride with them. And so I ride this out there, and I left way too late. It's like 120 degrees, 115 degrees on the ride, and I'm trying to stop under those overpasses in the middle of the desert on that long stretch and soak myself with water, and then pin it to the next one and do the same thing, and ended up pretty much getting heat stroke by the time I get there. Luckily the boys were there like in the driveway waiting for me. So, but yeah, riding with all them out there, the cruisy guys and Gino and all them, like just seeing that and their level. Immediately I got back home from that trip, and I came to this spot, and I wasn't gonna leave until the front wheel was coming up. So I sat here and sat here and sat here, and I ended up getting it up first on the back passenger pegs, and then stand up, and then a knee knocker. And it took me quite a while to do a sit down on these. It's a little tricky on these. You really gotta like stand and yank and have your timing absolutely perfect. I think it's just the monoshock and the amount of horsepower. It's way overpowered. You don't want a big motor when you're wheeling. I know it's like people do and don't, but you do not. This thing's wild and throttle by wire, so she's definitely wild. But yeah. First thing I guess you notice that I see everyone, well, the two things I guess is my pipe and the front wheel, but front wheel was from I mousetrapped in front of Josie's hideout. Mousetrap is basically where you come up too quick and you slam too much rear brake, so you slam down, and they said I did it so hard that my back wheel actually came off the ground. I slammed so hard. So I didn't go down. I kind of rode it away. I was very sore for like the next week, but yeah, so I flat spotted the front spoke wheel. Tracker Die actually hooked me up and gave me that kit and put that wheel on, and they just totally took care of me over there. They kill it. This is 49 millimeter stock forks. It's stock height, but it's the Race Tech gold valves internals, and then I run the yellow spring on the gold valve with the 1 kg spring. So I think they said this bike recommends like 9. I went 2 up, and I got the really stiff, the 1 because I knew I was gonna be slamming this thing down because I had no idea what I was doing. Up here we have the 6.5 pullback thrashings with the gauge cut out, and I did the two-tone, so I have the black risers with the polished clamp just to be different and weird than everyone and kind of make people mad about not matching stuff. These are stock. Just cut them with a grinder one day, like when I first got my bike, and smoothed them out with some sandpaper. Got this fairing completely by homies for free, so thank you guys, you know who you are. This is the 19-inch windshield, so it's really nice. I don't have to put my screen down. I can ride like no wind at all. It's really awesome. This is, I'm pretty sure, an Amazon fairing, and then stock headlight. Down here, again, Amazon special. I think they're like 40 bucks. And then you have to like grind down the top ones because they're way too not angled. They're like just horrible angle, but this kind of made it comfortable. At least for me, I like them. So this pipe, you get a lot of questions and eyes about the pipe. This is a 2021 Road Glide header here. And then this is their bottom piece here. And then this is a collector that I bought. This is one of the original shotgun mufflers that are this big off this bike. It's cut, flipped, turned, gutted. The mount I made myself, took off that big stock mount, raised the foot peg. That's my stock header. I just had to twist it a little bit to make it a little bit tighter. I'm rocking a Saddleman seat, and it's the tuck and roll. I wish it was a gripper, so Saddleman, if you want to put some gripper on my tuck and roll, that'd be great because I slip out of my seat every wheelie. The step plate I just made myself, and it seems to be working good. I'm just, I think, an inch too short for the step plate life. If you want to rock your foot up there with on the brake, I kind of like am reaching for it on my tippy toe, and then once I get it up, it's totally fine. But just pulling it up, it's kind of weird. I'm like 5'10", so I'm not very tall. All-in-one, custom dynamics, I believe, license plate. So that's not a scrape plate on the back fender. It's basically, if you know the Street Bob fenders, if you touch a stock one, like if you're at the dealer or whatever, or your buddy's got one, and you pull up on it, it's got a lot of play. And if you've seen any videos of people scraping the Street Bob fenders, they tend to like crumble when you hit them or touch them. So I was always so worried dropping back that I was gonna touch my fender and just completely end my day and my bike and everything. So it's basically just bars run from here that I welded, that are strutted, and then it's all welded with a plate that's thick as this. So it's like an over strong extension of a fender so that I can drop it back and I just don't have to worry about it. And and then the rear, I'm rocking that Bung King 2-inch block. And then I threaded the threads like as much as you could out, so it's like 2.5, and it made it pretty good. And as far as motor and stuff, it's all stock, just K&N filter, and that's it. You can find me at Alex Mino on Instagram, and hit me up if you need anything welded or anything done. Custom pipes, custom step plates, whatever. Hook you up, or if you want to ride. So, yeah.